Meet Jack the Explorer. Jack was a boy with bright, curious eyes. He loved to explore the forest near his home. Every day after school he would rush to the woods looking for new adventures. Jack had a map where he marked all the special places he found. There was the big oak tree, the sparkling stream and the hidden cave. He loved the forest and knew it like the back of his hand.
"Be careful, Jack," they said. But Jack was brave. He always promised to be back before dark. With his trusty backpack and a sense of adventure, Jack felt ready for anything.
One sunny afternoon, as Jack was exploring, he found a new path. It was narrow and covered with leaves. Excited, he decided to follow it. Who knew what he might discover? Maybe a new treehouse spot or a secret pond. As he walked further, he heard a sound. It was soft at first, but then it grew louder. It sounded like a howl. Jack's heart beat faster. What could it be? He decided to find out. The howling grew louder as Jack moved deeper into the forest. He felt a mixture of excitement and nervousness. He had never heard such a sound before. It was both beautiful and sad. Jack followed the sound until he reached a clearing. There he saw a wolf. The wolf had grey fur and piercing blue eyes. It looked strong but also lost. Jack took a deep breath and stepped closer. The wolf noticed him and stopped howling. They stared at each other for a moment. Jack felt an urge to help.
"Hello," Jack said softly. "Are you lost?"
The wolf tilted its head, almost as if it understood him. Jack named the wolf Max in his mind.
"Don't worry, Max, I will help you," he said.
Max seemed to understand. He walked closer to Jack, his eyes full of hope. Jack reached out his hand and Max sniffed it. Then, to Jack's surprise, Max licked his hand. A bond was formed in that moment. Jack smiled. They were friends now. Jack knew he had to help Max find his pack. He couldn't leave the poor wolf alone.
"Let's go, Max," Jack said.
He started walking and Max followed. Jack felt proud. He was on a real adventure now, with a wolf as his companion. As they walked, Jack talked to Max. He told him about the big oak tree and the sparkling stream. Max listened, his ears twitching. Jack felt a little less lonely with Max by his side. It was as if they understood each other. Jack thought about where the pack could be. He remembered hearing howls from the north side of the forest before.
"Let's try going north," he said.
Max seemed to agree. They changed direction and headed towards the north. The forest was thick and the path was not easy, but Jack was determined. He wanted to help his new friend. He knew that finding the pack would make Max happy, and that made Jack happy too. Max was strong and graceful, jumping over obstacles with ease. Jack showed Max the hidden cave he had found last summer. S1. "Max, follow me. I know a secret path." Narrator. The journey through the woods was full of surprises. Jack led Max through shortcuts and secret paths he had discovered. They crossed streams and climbed over fallen trees.
"It's a secret spot."
They rested there for a while, drinking water from Jack's bottle. Max seemed to enjoy the break. His eyes sparkled with gratitude. As they continued, Jack felt closer to Max. He felt like they were a team. They looked out for each other. Jack made sure Max was safe, and Max kept an eye out for danger. They were becoming good friends. The forest was full of life. Birds sang and squirrels chattered. Jack pointed out different animals to Max. Max wagged his tail. It was as if they were sharing the adventure together. S1, look, a rabbit! As they moved deeper into the forest, Jack started to worry. What if they couldn't find the pack? What if Max would be lost forever? But then he looked at Max, and his courage returned. Max was counting on him. The forest seemed darker now. The trees were taller, and the path was harder to see. Jack had to be extra careful. He didn't want to get lost too. Max stayed close to Jack, making sure he was safe. They were a team after all. Suddenly, they heard a noise. It was a howl, but it was different. It was close and sounded familiar. Max's ears perked up. He looked at Jack with hope in his eyes. They ran towards the sound. The howling grew louder, and Jack's heart raced. They were close. Max seemed excited too. They reached another clearing, and there they saw them. A group of wolves, Max's pack. They were howling, calling for Max. It was a beautiful sight. S1, let's go, Max! Max licked his face, saying thank you. Jack smiled. He knew he would come back to visit his new friends. The forest felt even more special now. S1. Goodbye, Max. Thank you. Narrator. Max ran to his pack and they greeted him with joy. They nuzzled him and wagged their tails. It was a heartwarming sight. Jack felt a wave of happiness. He had done it. He had helped Max find his pack. The wolves welcomed Jack too. They seemed to understand that he was their friend. Jack felt proud. He had made new friends and had an adventure he would never forget. The pack was whole again, and it felt like a big family. The wolves invited Jack to stay with them for a while. They had a feast to celebrate Max's return. Jack enjoyed the feast, sharing food with the wolves. They howled together, a song of joy and friendship. Jack felt like he belonged. As the sun set, Jack knew it was time to go home. He hugged Max and said goodbye. Jack walked home feeling happy and proud. He had made a difference. He had helped a friend in need. And in return, he had found a friendship that would last forever. Jack knew he would never forget Max and the adventure they had shared. Every time Jack went to the forest, he felt a special connection. He knew that Max and the pack were out there, watching over him. It made the forest feel even more magical. Jack's love for the forest grew even stronger. Jack's parents were happy to hear about his adventure. They were proud of him for being brave and kind. Jack promised to always be careful, but he also knew that he had friends in the forest who would look out for him. Jack's friendship with Max taught him the importance of helping others and being brave. He knew that no matter what challenges he faced, he could overcome them with courage and friendship, and that made every new adventure even more exciting.